Have you ever noticed that some people retire from work but never retire from the stress? Think about that for a second. The office is gone, the meetings are gone, the deadlines are gone, the alarm clock is gone, but somehow the stress, the frustration, the criticism, and the people who made work miserable are still living in their heads.
Yep.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been sitting at home at night replaying a conversation from work that happened 6 hours ago?
Yep.
Maybe somebody criticized you, maybe a meeting went sideways, maybe somebody said that something bothered you and now you're thinking of all the things you wish you had said.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked in the mirror on a Thursday morning or maybe a Monday morning and thought, I don't know if I have it in me to do this again today? If that sounds familiar, this conversation is for you.
This is a conversation I've been looking forward to doing with you for a long time. And I think a lot of people watching this channel know exactly what this feels like. Some of you still love your work, but you're tired. Some of you don't love your work anymore, but you're staying because of the paycheck, the pension, you need health care, or because retirement is finally within your reach. And sometimes the hardest part, it's not the work itself. It's the people. People ruin everything. It's the politics.
Yeah.
It's the constant criticism, the nitpicking, the micromanaging, and it's feeling like you're carrying the stress of your job and you're bringing that home every single day.
Have you ever noticed that toxic workplaces don't stay at work?
So that's exactly right. They get your attention during the workday. Then they get your drive home. You try to put music on, but there's this little squawk box in your ear that you can't get rid of. And then they interrupt your dinner because you're still cycling back to that meeting, those words that were said, that nasty email that was sent to you. And then they get your thoughts right before bed. Sometimes they even get your sleep. Don't tell me that none of our viewers haven't dreamed about work and dreamed about that toxic workplace. And if you're not very careful, they start affecting how you actually see yourself. That's when a difficult workplace becomes something much more bigger than just a difficult workplace.
That's such an important point.
You know, this all came to fruition for me a few weeks ago. I was driving home from work and I called a friend of mine who's been retired from the state police, for at least 20 years. And I just happened to catch him as he was driving to his daughter's house to see his grandkids. That's an important part of this story. So like I said, he's retired. And we started just catching up on family, on life. And then he brought up a supervisor from 30 years ago. And suddenly, it was like 30 years disappeared. He was talking about his frustrations from something that happened in the 1990s, as if they happened last week. And at that point I told him, I said, bro, didn't you ever watch the TV series Band of Brothers? The state police had a few Captain Sobels. Every place had a few Captain Sobels. And if you've seen the series, the Band of Brothers series, you know exactly what I mean. People who had authority, people who had rank, but not necessarily people whose opinions actually mattered. Their opinions didn't deserve to shape how you felt about yourself. The difference that I learned, or the leadership lessons that I learned, they weren't from those people. But my friend was still letting Captain Sobel carry weight in his retired life. And I got home and I told April about it. And what really hit me was how the conversation ended. It made me sad. He finally said, hey man, I just got to my daughter's house. I'm pulling in the driveway. And like I said, he was on his way to see his grandkids. And after we hung up the phone, I was actually pulling in our driveway, and I just sat there thinking about how sad it was that that workplace from 30 years ago was still taking up space in my friend's head. The workplace was gone. The actual barrack we worked at, it doesn't even exist anymore. The people were gone. The stress and the frustration should have been gone as well. But somehow it was still riding in the passenger seat that day. And it made me sad because he's going in to see these beautiful, wonderful grandchildren, but he's letting this dude live in his head.
Well, let me ask everybody watching this question. Is there something from your working years that you're still carrying around? Maybe it's a toxic boss. Maybe it's a toxic workplace.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a criticism you never forgot. Maybe it's somebody who made you doubt yourself. We'd love to hear from you in the comments, because I have a feeling a lot of people are going to realize they're not alone.
Yeah, and you know, the older I get, the more I think this really isn't about bad bosses or toxic workplaces. It's about credibility. Who are you still giving power to and authority to? Because some workplaces, they train us to question ourselves. Some managers make us doubt ourselves. Some environments make us forget how capable we really are.
Yeah.
And so the scary part is that sometimes we carry these doubts, we carry these things long after we've left that position.
And retirement gives us a chance to see all that differently.
You know, one of the gifts of getting older is perspective. I love that gift. The gift of perspective and the gift of wisdom and discernment as well. And so looking back, I learned valuable lessons from all of those workplaces. They taught me what kind of leader I didn't want to be. They taught me what kind of culture I didn't want to create as a lieutenant or a captain in the state police. So I kept those lessons, but I let go of the messenger.
That's powerful.
It is powerful. And maybe that's the challenge for all of us. Keep the lesson, lose the wounds. Keep the wisdom, lose the resentment. Keep your growth, but lose that baggage, man. None of us likes to lose our baggage when we're flying, but this is baggage you have permission to lose.
Yeah.
Drop it off, kick it to the curb. Don't even think about it again.
Because freedom isn't just leaving work.
No, freedom is protecting your peace. Let me say that again. Freedom is protecting your peace. Freedom is realizing your value was never determined by that toxic workplace or that toxic
Right.
person.
Right.
Freedom is understanding somebody else, they might have a title, but that never gave them the right to determine your worth. Freedom is refusing to let people from your past continue collecting rent in your head. And hey, if you're enjoying our videos and our conversations, we'd love, and I do mean love, to have you subscribe. April and I have been plugging away with this now for about 9 months. We've got 250 subscribers, but we know that our community is full of people navigating the same challenges and asking the same questions that we are.
None of us are doing this alone.
None of us. And here's the truth. Toxic workplaces, they already took enough from you. They took your energy. They took your attention. They even took your sleep. They gave you indigestion at times. They took your confidence.
Yeah.
They made you feel a certain way. Don't let those toxic workplaces or those toxic people, whether in the workplace or in your personal life, take anything away from your retirement too. Learn from them, grow from them. Don't carry them with you, because retirement, man, it's not just about leaving a job behind. It's about this big thing, and that's called finally reclaiming your peace, your confidence, and your sense of self from people who never deserved that much power over you in the first place. That's not just retirement, that's freedom. I don't mean to get preachy, but this is something that April and I have lived through. Both of us have lived through this in various jobs during our lifetime, and we just wanted to share it with you. So we're hoping that you have a wonderful week, and why don't you just close us out?
And also, we would love to hear what kinds of topics you would like us to discuss. I don't think we've said that before, but I would love some ideas as to what you guys want to hear about, whether it's our personal lives or general topics, but let us know what you'd like.
Yeah, so here's to a week filled with less toxicity, more confidence, and more peace in your lives. And just thank you so much for watching our channel. Have a great week.
Thank you.